Good morning, guys. I think I saw Lone. Hi, Hi, Momo. Hi, Taco. Hey, Lone. Hi, Hamudi. Hi, Kunjal. Hi, WSB. Let me just grab my list here. Hold on a second. I think I might have missed someone. I think. Hi, Dennis. Is it Jose? I think it's Jose. Shadow. Ramil. Wadia. Ahmed. Ghost. Brandon. Hi, Lou. Hold on, let me just kind of getting set up here on my end. Okay, we're going to be taking a look at the Ultimate Invader today. I have actually two invaders in my hangar here. So this one has the Ultimate Corona. Actually, let me just do this. For anyone who wants to do like a comparison in terms of like health and stuff. Hi, Gray. Hi, Smiling. Okay, so I think this one has more damage. I think it's faster reload, right? Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, no, this is 9. Wait. What's the difference? More effect accumulation. Like the damage numbers are the same. Are they supposed to be the same? I don't know. 500 meter range, reload time is the same. Effect accumulation is higher. Huh? Hi, Thierry. Welcome to Diamond. Yeah, I changed my for the ones that were members before, just so that you are aware, I did change my membership perks. So the entry level 1 is actually like better value now because it includes like the baby account live streams, and you know, also when we have like a new update, you guys get to see like that stuff, like, you know, review of it. We get to test things out. Ultimate Orkans. Yeah, we can run that too. I'm just kind of curious about these as well. I know, you know what? I'm probably going to have to do that because I know you guys are going to complain. Why not use Immune Amplifier? So we're going to use Immune Amplifier, although I do think Repair Amplifiers might be stronger. All this means is that like I won't get locked or suppressed or frozen, but I need to take damage for that to go into effect. It gives me more speed and I think a bit more health as well. The thing that makes me nervous about running something like this is that there's no last stand. Of course, we have the Shy on here too. The Repair Amp actually will, I think, make it stronger because you're stacking more defense points on it. So that's the way that one works. So for this one here, we've got the other pilot. Actually, yeah, we have this pilot here. So this one does increase ability damage 500%. We've got the Arachnid Invader with the spike or the harpoon weapons. I've actually kind of debated too, like there's different variations. A lot think like this is the standard, but I think players sometimes need to get out of that mindset because to counter certain things, you need to be open to the idea of switching up your build. You know, like this game has always been kind of almost like chess. Sometimes you need to change things in order to optimize it. So for example, if I was going up against something like this with another invader, or with a build like this, I might even consider running 2 nuclear amps with the last stand. Just so that I can reach the damage stacks quicker. And that will allow me to deal with like this one. Actually, what is... Okay, so the health is the same. I'm just looking. Do I think it's going to be... Well, I have to see what's going to be changed. One thing I never do with this game is I never read too much into what the test server numbers are. I think a lot of players do that and they kind of screw themselves over. because like they start changing the hang and making changes, upgrading according to what they saw on the test server, and then sometimes things are cancelled, or in some cases it might be nerfed or buffed even more than they expected. So wait until it comes to a live server first, and then judge based on that. There's a reason why they call it the test server, right? Yeah. So you always have to be very careful about planning that way. What is a special thing? It's supposed to have like, I think it's more, well, this one actually has 3 medium, so the weapons are different. So this has like 1 medium and 2 light. So more firepower in terms of, what you can equip on here. But the looks of it, I'm looking at the health and the speed's all the same. There's this, hold on, 75%, 100 meters, 16 seconds. Damage, wait. Why does it say X percentage? This is the thing that I find really confusing about this game. Like, they come out with all these different like details, but they don't go into specifics. In order for me to find the specifics, I have to go to another site, which is a whole nother thing too. Like, why not put it on your official site? Wouldn't that make more sense? I don't know. I never understood their logic when it comes to things like that. Most companies, when you want to find information on something, you go to their official site. With them, no, you don't go to their official site. You have to go to another site, and then they get the information from Pixonic, which I don't understand either. Like I said, why not just put it on your own site? Hey guys. It's just a reskinned. So wait, if it's a reskin, then why didn't they change this? Because this is damage reduction, 33%, 50 defense points. I don't even know what that means. Like, what does this even mean? I don't know. I'm just like really, some of these things I'm really confused with because they don't really explain. It's kind of impossible to get. There are going to be some players that will get it. That's why I'm kind of doing this live stream. I'm just kind of curious myself. Just because it's harder to get doesn't mean that it's necessarily better. It's almost like a collectible item kind of thing. So you may have it, but is it better than this one? Not necessarily. It might be the same. You know what I mean? Like it's so I guess I'll start with this first. Ooh, that kind of did decent damage. Whoa, we locked him right outside of the circle. Is that that's not gonna be enough to change it. They have a Crisis Reaper back there. Well, if you want to push me. Okay, I'll just do this then. That is a lot of players. Okay, so that's the ultimate invader with the 2 immune. I'm gonna try to run this one and let's see how long this one survives. So this one has 2 repair amps, not immune amps. So they survive for the same amount of time, pretty much. One isn't necessarily better than the other. This is what the point I'm trying to make. Actually, I still think that the repair amp may be stronger. Because I was attacked by more players at that point than the other one. A few days ago, you saw someone with Ultimate Invader. Someone actually mentioned in my chat this morning that they got one. Who am I hitting? I'm like hitting... What? He jumps? Oh no, wait, he's getting lifted by the... Wait, if I go like this, is this gonna bump him up? I just thought about that. So if a player with a Newton were to do that and a shell ran underneath, would that bump them like away? It might send them flying, right? I don't know, I just thought about that now. Whoa. Just trying to see if I can maybe get this beacon. Wait, my team didn't even move in. So all of that was for nothing? Eesh. I'm gonna see. Oh, jeez, that guy got smoked. Wow. I think he's gonna. Yeah, he's gonna drop in at center. Let's try to lock him down for my teammates. There we go. I don't care if I die at center. Main thing is I got rid of that guy. You know, I didn't want him to flank me. So if he flanked me, that would be a problem. Okay, so they have a Newton way back there. I'm just wondering, we also have a Newton too. You try to raise me, but I'm kind of locked underneath here. And I took their beacon. I think that might be game over for them. So, I guess we're just gonna sit here and camp now. Because that's what they're doing. I'm kind of locked underneath. Yeah, he's dead. And he got raised too. He's dead. Yep. Rewind, watch because you're late. Well, our first game we won. That was a bit of a boring game though. Because they just sat back. Red team just sat back, they just let us take their beacon. You were actually down a player too. Wow. Yeah, I still prefer using the Luchador over like the Rook. The Rook is strong, don't get me wrong. But I like the Luchador gameplay more. Okay, let's try this one first. They have a Crisis Reaper back there. There's one problem though. We've got their spawn. We're in their spawn, not got their spawn. He's gonna drop in here, right? Too many Harpies, Sirens, and Hawks. Yeah, that guy's got a Siren. Siren? I think that's a Siren. And he's dead. Last stand on him. look at what's happening with red team. My gosh. I think we should just move. They're moving to our right flank though. That's a good beacon to take. He's dead. Five capped. Let's just end this. I think that's a Newton back there. Yeah, that's a Newton. Thank you, Zach. Hi, everyone. Daily donation. Thank you so much. Is that the Corona? That's the ultimate one. Red team just let us get into their home spawn. That's never a good thing. So yeah, here are the stats for the ultimate Corona. There's nothing really different other than, I think, the lockdown, right? So the effect accumulation is 150 on here. This one's just a regular 100. But the damage numbers, the range, reload, everything is the same. But this damage number, I'm not sure if this is the total damage for the full clip. I'm guessing it is because they don't really specify, again, like details. Yeah, this one is stronger. This is a lot stronger than like most realize. Like if you really want to build a strong, you gotta use 2, I think. But there's different ways that I can get around. Like if I'm going up against another invader, to stop them with suppression, what I could also do is I could run... and I was running this at one point because of all the suppression. This was way back when, you know, drones was different. But I actually ran... I ran this combo here. I believe it was this combo. So the thing is, when the meta changes, you kind of have to know how modules work, or like have a general understanding. But I remember using this kind of combination. But I'm kind of curious now. Should I run? And it's not just modules, you know, how you use it in combination with like your drones. So like this could work, but another option is actually to even use, because wait, what do I have? I have the shy on here, is to use a beak. Because, you know, beak, you go into that stealth and it's really, really annoying to deal with. So I don't know if that would work with this one. It might. And also you have the damage increase too. Where it's gonna kind of suck is if they have quantum radar, which is quite possible as well. But yeah, this one... And I've tried it with the Kestrel too. That would give me more speed if I want. Yeah, this one has the immune amp. So yeah, it really depends on your build. Like there's some builds where... I'm just looking to see if my teammates go for that side. This is kind of cool. We've got another invader here. We're seeing more invaders. I like that. I was saying earlier that I'm surprised we don't see more invaders because they're actually really tanky. Let's see if we can try to get this. You know, the other thing that's really good about the Invader is because it's so low to the ground, you can hit players that, like the Lynx, for example. I'm gonna need to use a heal here. Did we lose our home? I guess we lost our home. Yeah, we lost our home. Oh. I think I might have charged him up there too. We probably want to go for this top one here. So this Invader build that I have right now is more of a damage kind of build. Is he gonna... He might drop in here. Yeah, he is. That was... Oh my gosh, that was a mistake. He just dropped in and that was like... He got instantly deleted pretty much. Yeah, I wouldn't have done that. Guys, bottom. It was so focused over here. There we go. I'm gonna move this way. I think they got dropped in with a Titan here, right? No, they didn't. Wait, we lost the top again? How did... What the... Dude, we lost the top again. Well, we're all like storming here, so I think we might be able to take out that Newton actually. If they let us get this beacon, which they kind of are, we can just go straight for him. Ooh, he's taking a lot of damage. He's dead. Whoa, 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 my aim. He's dead. I don't even know what happened there. He's dead. Wow, that invader lasted a long time. This guy's moving here. What is he up to? He's gonna go in. Nah, he's gonna go into flight. I'm just holding this beacon down though. Hey, kind. Happy Friday, Adrian. Adrian Nation. This guy's got the beak on there, man. That's a weird angler player. Thank you, Anonymous. Yeah, don't forget, guys, if you enjoyed the live stream, make sure to leave a thumbs up. It helps the channel out, plus it lets me also know that you guys are interested in War Robots content. Otherwise, eventually I will be covering another game. If there's not enough interest. That we were in the middle of a clan battle or something here. It was like four a piece. The old sound, well, just I think you like it more because it's more of a playlist. The other one I started building up, and there's only a couple songs. When are they going to be releasing the pilots for Titan? I have no idea. Yeah, I don't get information on that stuff. I know. Why didn't I make? Because one of the things was I said that I was cutting down on my War Robots content until things improved, but also you know, when I look at like how many views and likes, it usually tells me if players are interested or viewers. So if you want to see like more content, then I need like you guys to at least like the video or like watch it, because otherwise that's sending a message to me that you're not interested in War Robot stuff. Man, this Ultimate Invader is almost dead here. I'm just like, that's even with all of that, you know, that's the Ultimate Invader. Why didn't my teammate go back? Oh, he got killed? Dude, we only have one beacon here. This is definitely not good. I need to go help my teammates on this side. Okay, so at least we got this beacon over here on this side. But already you can tell this invader is a lot stronger than the other one. Whoa, what the? He's lost standard. This is the regular, like, the Arachnid invader. And remember, I don't have any immune amps on here either. He's down. Thank you, kind. Oh, you can't give memberships? I don't know. Maybe I'll have to double check. There's a guy right behind you that I need to attack. He's going for our home beacon. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's definitely not good. You know what I can do is I can get this beacon and then maybe jump to the bottom here. No, I can't because they have a Newton back there. So maybe the better option would be to go here. Okay, so he's down. I'm gonna get raised in the air here. They're gonna raise. Yep. It's like dangling. What's on this side? I don't think I really like this particular build for the Blitz. I mean, it's okay, but it's not like in my... I wouldn't say it's one of my top builds. Why do we only have like 2 or 3 players all of a sudden? You've got 3 players. Kind of wondering, is someone cheating on the other side that I don't see, or like what's going on? Teammates. Yeah, I think I'm gonna die straight away here. The Australian bot. I'm not sure what happened actually over there because my whole team, it seemed like they didn't drop in or something. I don't know what's going on. That was weird. Okay, wait, hold on a second, guys. I just need to check something here. I'm just looking at things. I don't think I see anything that has changed. I'm not sure what's going on. Might be on a YouTube side. I saw a clan and quit. Ugh. It's kind of like with Fortnite, when they die, they quit too. Same thing. Hi, Alpha. The Ocho Kochi, it's gonna be from the event, I believe. It won't be out yet because we still have the current event. What is it, 9.3? Instead of learning to deal with it, they just quit. I think that's more younger generation, maybe. I don't know. It's kind of, like I said, I noticed the same thing in Fortnite. I'm actually surprised I don't see more in this game, because in that game, when they die, they just quit. They don't even bother. And then they wonder, like, why they're not good players. I'm like, well, if you keep leaving a game, how do you expect to improve? I think it's like, well, you know, if I can't win, then I shouldn't play, or like no one else should get the fun to play against me because, I don't know. You know, the reasoning isn't very, not a lot of logic. You know what? This Invader with immune amp is a lot weaker. I can tell when I'm playing. Like, when I just get hit, like, I can tell it's a lot weaker. I think if you want to run Invader, a strong one, you gotta run, like, a repair amp on it or something. Immune kind of helps because you have the speed, and that's fine. But when you need to push and hold beacons down, the repair amps really help. Man, I just got this beacon. It was uncontested. Whatever. You know, one thing I noticed with these Corona weapons, like, they do a lot of damage, don't get me wrong. But the thing is, when you fire your clip, it takes a while to reload. Oh, jeez, this is going to be a bit of a pain to deal with. He's got the beak on there too. There we go. That took a while. Trying to lock this guy down. Oh, he must have immune amps on there. Oh my gosh, that took a while. Yep, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Oh shoot, why does it have to be a rook right here? I was like shooting him in his toes. Okay, we probably want to push maybe, well, if we can't get center, we should probably push the right. I mean, there's no one here. Why not? Might take me a while. Dude, that guy's still alive? You can see the corrosion. Do you guys notice that they've changed? Uh-oh. Look around, dude. Look around. Look around. Whoa. Whoa. Flying spider. Man, it took me so long just to get there. Now I got to do that all over again. I should have probably dropped in with my luchador, to be honest. Because at this point, when they got all these rooks out, yeah, you want to be in your luch. I'm gonna try to see if I can suppress him. Well, he's really going after that guy. What is that guy in? $565,000. Ooh, this guy's got Titan anti-control. Smart. Whoa, he's jumping, man. So many players use jump. You almost have him killed. Which robot concept might work? So wait, all of a sudden we have 3 players? What happened to the rest of my team? 4 players? 3 players? They crashed? I think I gotta change this build. I don't like these weapons on this blitz. I think I probably could have done better using like flames or something. It's doing hardly any damage to this guy. Sonic weapons would have been better. Oh geez, Annie is a Titan for real? Yeah, I'm definitely dead. Ugh. Unstable conduit. Oh, the Titans. Titans will get modules. What do you mean? They already have modules. Oh, like active? I feel like we were down a player, like... Oh geez, 1,000? I can kind of understand with that hanger. I think he just got wiped out. We basically had 5 players. I'm not sure about the new robot. I haven't... Is that the... That can't be the Archie Kochi. You must be talking about another one, right? I'm gonna switch this out. This is one of the weaker ones in my hangar. Actually, I think I need more close range. Should I try this with like, let's try the ultimate Orkin on here. Actually, to be honest, I find this build with the Coronas kind of weak. I think the Harpoon weapons are stronger. Also, I don't know about running like so many immune amps on here. I know a lot of players say that because they saw it in videos somewhere. I actually find like the games that I played, it seems to be a bit on the weak side for a tank, that is. Leaked. Well, I'll take a look when it comes, but I don't know if I'm gonna publish it this weekend. My teammate should probably get onto this beacon like ASAP. That guy's Seraph seems kind of strong for what it was. Maybe he had more resistance on there than it should be. Yeah, this guy's lost standard. How was the out, Ching? Not a setup I would run in Champion League for sure. Dude, I can't get out of here because there's so many of us here. Why are we all on this side? Guys, come on. 4 guys on the beacon that we already got. I mean, I dropped there because I wanted to protect it. I saw someone there and then everyone else dropped in. The right side, no! Wait, can I get... Oh no, they're gonna move. Dude, stay on the beacon at least. We're gonna lose it. He's gonna drop in with his Titan. Yeah. Let's just do this. Dude, I can't even see what's going on. Guys, get onto the beacon, please. You're gonna be playing in Champion League, Master League. You gotta know how to defend beacons at this point. There we go. Except we lost our left side. There's a rook there, and I think he's gonna move to center. Or actually, wait, is he? We're gonna lose that right side. This guy, he should have gotten onto that beacon there. He's in the Crisis Reaper too. He's trying to save his bot. This guy's gonna kill him now. There we go. We just gave up that beacon. We had it. Oh my gosh. And we have 6 players. How? Only camp because of cowards. I don't think it's because of that. I just think it's the experience part. You know what? Honestly, I think they need to make Champion League, raise it another 1,000 activity cups. Because players are getting to Champion League too quickly. I mean, just to give you an idea of how bad things are, like as far as beacons go. So yesterday, and you know, Dies is in the chat. There were other members that were watching too. I live streamed my baby account, which is MK1 level 6 bots, right? And I'm playing against MK2 and MK3, players with maxed out Titans. I played for 1 hour, and I won every single game, I believe, in that 1 hour span. I didn't lose a single game, and all I did was push beacons. But for me to do that with MK1 level 6 bots, I mean, my pilots aren't maxed. I don't even have like a maxed out module or anything. I don't even know if I use any boosters. I guess I did, like the free boosters. Not that it would make any difference. My drones aren't maxed out. My Titan doesn't even have a Titan pilot, but yet I won every single game. Like, try to explain... explain that. Like, that's not... It shouldn't be happening. Hey, Robert. I actually wanted to do a better thumbnail, but the thing is, you know what I noticed with the ultimate, like Invader? Well, not just Invader, like just those robots in general. I find the color too dark. And I wish I could get like different angles, but it's so dark that I had to use the one from the hangar. I'm actually going to back away here because they're trying to push this beacon and I want to kind of act like a roadblock kind of thing. Speaking of which, why are they all attacking on this side? There's someone behind me. Well, we held down this right side. You see how they've changed the health bar? It shows like the corrosion now. Please tell me you're gonna move on to that beacon to defend it. He is kind of. Oh, come on. Phase shift. Ugh. Paladin still, I would say, I'm actually using it right now. So I guess in a sense, yeah. It's great for if you got a very tank heavy kind of lineup. Like I have right now. It's very good for that. So wait. Dude, that's a lot of Mars that they have on this side. Oh, come on. Again? Hey, that guy's name's Adrian too. I just realized. I thought that guy's shield was gonna drop. Oh, I got him though. I got him. What's he shooting at? Thing is, I've got to watch the center. I should probably get this beacon here. Now, that guy's gonna go to our far right. I think that's a Skyros, right? Yeah, that's a Skyros. They have a Skyros on their team that's running beacons on us. So I think I'm just gonna kind of try to match him. Maybe get this beacon here, because I think he's getting our beacon now. So I'll get their beacon, and then he'll go down to the bottom and get that beacon, and then I'll get the top beacon up top. Actually, wait, we're gonna get that one. He's dead. Man, another Skyros for real. Well, I guess that's one way to kill him. Oh, jeez. Uh-oh. He's gonna squish me. Oh, we suppressed him. Ooh. I didn't think we were gonna kill him. You got Newton the first try in the full weapon set. Oh, wow. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh. So... Oh geez, that guy's just gonna get destroyed. Oh my gosh, someone else has? Oh jeez. Better him than me. Totally. I mean, teamwork. I just show up late to the party and I just get the I get the kill. I mean, honestly, guys, do you see any difference between this invader and the other one? I really don't. It's like the same thing. Maybe collect this item, right? Now you get to run a nerfed Mars. Oh geez, 9 beacons captured. That's a lot of beacon capturing. Find Crisis Reaper. I think Crisis Reaper is like pretty much dead. I know it's gonna do decent damage now, but when they do the change to the cooldown, if they end up doing that, I think that kind of build's gonna be dead. There's a reason why players don't run like the Hornet weapons or like Wasp, is because of the long reload. So even if it does do a lot of damage, it's the reload that's gonna kill the build itself. Oh, it's still 7 seconds? Well, yeah. Although we haven't got the next update yet. Look, we still have about 4 days left. 3 days, 18 hours of the current event. And then we switch over to the 9.4. So that is going to be it for the stream, guys. Like I was running the... If you're wondering, like, I have the Orkin on here, but I was running the other, like the Corona. I think for looks, like if players are into collecting like the ultimate version of stuff. Oh wait, why did I change it to that? I already have that. Like for the pricing, I don't think it's worth it. For me, honestly, I actually like the design of the Arachnid Invader more. Because like I find with this, so with this design, I find it really dark. And I don't like how they've done, so like how this is the ultimate, like I know what they're trying to do, but they're all the same to me. Like the color scheme and stuff. They should have made it like different, like maybe... Like, if you're going to make it like an ultimate version, make it kind of like what they've done with the Arachnid Invader, where it looks very different from the other one. But maybe do it design-wise, not like the skin-wise, like the color. You know what I mean? So, like, if they went with like an Ardent look or something similar kind of to that, I think that would have looked a lot cooler. You need the legendary pilot also. No, but what I'm saying is so if you compare the gameplay, this is why I ran 2 of these, right? If you compare the gameplay in today's live stream, this one with the pilot, which I still have my doubts on whether this is like the best one. I was using the other pilot. I would actually argue that this one performed better than the other one. But then again, this one I also had 2 immune amplifiers, and I keep telling players, the reason why I run, the other builds is because I find it stronger. But I actually honestly, I found this one stronger overall. Not just this particular build that I was running here. I was using 2 repair amps earlier. Is it worth upgrading? Well, the Newton is sort of the meta right now. If you like that gameplay, I guess. I prefer like Luchador and like Rook kind of gameplay. But everyone's different, right? Like some prefer range. But I think if you're gonna run like a ranged Titan, then you should have like more brawlers probably in your lineup to like kind of compensate. They just apply a permanent skill to the ultimate version. Skill, or you mean skin? Because I know in Fortnite they do the same thing. And like players were actually complaining about it because what they do in Fortnite, right? They so a lot of the characters kind of look similar, but the skin looks different, and they repackage it. But they're not the only ones. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone does it. Immune amps or for the Invader, I think I prefer the repair amps. I think if I had an issue with, so like for this build here, I prefer this kind of combination. If I was finding that I was getting suppressed or like locked down more, then I would probably run maybe this kind of combination. The immune amp, I get that, you know, you get immune, but you actually have to take damage for those things to kick in. So let's just say I ran this right in a game and I dropped in and there was a Typhon that was near me. The minute I drop in, if he were to hit me with his blackout ability, he has disabled this Invader completely. Like these immune amps won't even work, right? Because I'm now disabled. So this one actually will block him, the initial hit, so I don't get hit affected by it. I mean, I guess I would be taking damage, but still I'm like I can't use my ability or anything. Like it's you're in trouble basically. Build that will smash the Newton. Actually, I've been using the Luchador to do mostly that. I know during the live stream some will say, well, you lost to the Newton. There was one game where I did lose, but I think there were 2 Newtons. You know, what would have happened if we had 2 Luchadors, or like 3 Luchadors and 2 Newtons? Those Newtons wouldn't have had a chance. But just in the games that I've played, I just find that I'm more successful with the Luchador, maybe because I just know how to play it more. I just prefer it. Is really the 10% extra durability and 5 is noticeable, kind of like that even more than the immunities. But yeah, I mean, having more speed is kind of helpful. Being immune is obviously helpful, but like if you're gonna build a tank, then build a tank kind of thing. No, Newton, so if you were to run like a Rook or a Luchador and you faced a Newton close range, that Newton will lose. It's just because it can't take the tankiness of like the Luchador or the Rook. For the Newton to win against the Luchador or the Rook, it has to keep its distance. And that's assuming that it's running the new weapons. So if I'm in a Luchador and I see a Newton, my goal then is to try to see if I can get as close to the Newton as possible. And that's how I will counter it. The heavy armor kits. I think the same goes with balance unit as well. I think what they will have to do with like heavy armor kits to make it somewhat more viable, like have a purpose. So wait, what is it at right now? 12%, 16%. Yeah, it would have to bump it up like a lot more. And I think they would have to also change balance unit too. Because balance unit, you have more health and you have more damage. But no one uses it right now because there's just better options. It's not that squishy. It's got defense points. Well, all Titans have like defense points, but I'm just saying at close range, a Luchador or a Rook versus the Newton at close range, they're more likely to win against the Newton. In the battles I've faced, like if I'm in my Luchador and I'm facing a Newton, I would say, like, you know, if both of us had full health, probably 80-90% of the time I was gonna win. It might even be 100% at close range. I mean, he's gonna lift me up and then do what? Like, I will just activate my reflector shield, and then the thing is, when I land, I will jump at him and then I will suppress him. So he's not really doing that much damage to me either at that point, right? Because he's suppressed. Hi, Louise. Oh, you teamed up with your Hades and a Luchador. It doesn't have a defensive. Well, that's what I mean. That's its weakness. If it doesn't have a defensive ability like a reflector shield or like physical shield or something, at close range it will die very fast. Like, in all honesty, even a Luchador versus a Rook, like if I break their shield, I know they can rotate around, but usually if I see them doing that strategy on me, that tactic, what I do is I don't fire. So when they do face me, then I fire, and I'm firing at the part where the shield is broken. So, like, you know, that's where I'm like targeting their weak point, basically. They have a much better abilities at close range. Now, if I had to predict like which Titan would probably survive more metas, it would probably be Indra. Indra is kind of a bit on the weak side now, but that doesn't mean that it's necessarily a weak Titan, because it has some of the similar properties that a Ravana has, and look how long the Ravana has survived. Like, I've run into some Indra players that, you know, they really know how to play it well, and I've died to them, so, you know, it's definitely possible. But I think in the long run, I think Indra is probably the one that will survive the most, or the longest. What about Fortify? Which ability? I'm kind of confused. And anti-Titan robots. Well, I mean, look at the Ravana, how long it has survived, right? We have, for example, I'm trying to think. Okay, let's just say the Shell, you know, like, or even the Angler. You get close to Ravana, and when the Shell's about to detonate, well, what does a Ravana do? It just goes into Transcendence, and it's negated the blast. Same thing with the Angler. It tries to blind you. Well, You use a Ravana, use your Transcendence, you don't get blinded. You know what I mean? And like the Lynx attacks you. Well, what do? You use your Transcendence, and you just keep doing it to outlast the ability, and then you hit them. So it really is like, out of all the bots, it's probably the best one, like in terms of being able to adapt quickly, like to the metas. Like even the Afian, you know, the Afian, they hit the Ravana. What does the Ravana do? Transcendence. and you just keep doing that until the Afian lands, and then you attack. The pilot skills for which? This one? I don't know about the Minos. Does it even say on here? Does this have a stronger reflector shield? But the thing, so the difference between the Minos, so even though it has a reflector shield and a Luchador also, the difference is that Luchador can suppress you. That really is a big deal, that. Especially close range. Farther stake? I don't believe so. It doesn't seem like it. I think a lot of those changes are going to be coming into effect the next update. So even though we have, like, technically we have the update, I think everything's going to be activated in about, like, probably 4 days, 4 or 5 days, based on this, because we have this special delivery, right? This is the old one, so we still have to get the new one. And when the new one comes, then the other things that they mention, like the balance changes and stuff, I think it's going to all be activated. Minos has the strongest reflector shield in the game. You know what? Honestly, it kind of needs a reflector shield though, because once that reflector shield's gone, it really is very weak. The thing with the Luchador, so it has a reflector shield when it jumps, right? But then you can also activate the reflector shield once you land. And the thing is, when it jumps, it can suppress you. So it's almost like having like, so like if I had to face like a rook with this Luchador, I will hit them, then I will jump at them and I will suppress them. They will jump, or they will go into flight, and then they will probably suppress me as well. But at that point, if they keep on firing at me, I will activate my reflector shield, so I'm reflecting some of that damage back to them. In the meantime, for them to negate what I've hit them with, they have to rotate around to spread the damage across their shields. Problem is, I'm not going to fire at the back of them. I'm going to wait until they turn all the way around them, and then I'm going to hit them that way. Soon after that, I can jump again, and I will jump at them and I'll suppress them again. So that's why the Luchador is so effective. With the Minos, you can't exactly do that, right? You will charge them, they start shooting at you, you will turn your reflector shield on. But after, at that point, when it's worn off, you're kind of vulnerable. Like, what do you do then? Your only option at that point is to kind of run away, actually. I don't know if you'd want to fight, because by the time you get your ability back again, you might even be dead. I'm guessing. Because you'll be taking on so much damage. Should you keep your upgrading your Indra or start? I would probably do the Newton. What you can do is you can always spread your upgrades, you know, like if you want like a max Titan, I mean, you're already almost done with the Indra, you might as well just finish it at that point. But between the Newton and the Indra, I would say the Newton is higher probability of getting nerfed in the future just because it's, you know, new right now. Indra's gone through a lot. I don't think it's going to get nerfed. If it does get nerfed, not as much, I think. Oh, so the other thing too, yeah, so with the luchador, so you have a reflector shield when you jump, reflector shield when you land, and you know, at that point, because you're outputting quite a bit of damage with, like in this case, like your sonic weapons, if you're running paladin, you will activate your mothership, so that gives you extra protection and shield. So really you have like 3 things to fall back on, whereas with the Minos you don't really have that. You have the reflector shield, maybe the mothership as well, but aside from that, once that's all gone, you're finished. I don't know, I just like the gameplay of the luchador more. Kind of suits me, I guess. Hold on, I'm just reading a message here on Discord. That message that you sent, I will have to double check because I'm checking on my end and I don't actually see anything that I have to do in order to turn that on. Or maybe because I changed things with my membership thing that it doesn't allow it anymore. I don't know. Maybe there's hold on. Do I think they'll be nerfing repair amplifier like for robots, or you mean for Titans? Oh, for Titans, there's a possibility. The module of Luchador is unique. Yeah, I can see a possibility that Titan repair amp may get adjusted. I think actually, you know, if I were Pixonic, I would have probably taken, I think I would have taken that route instead of like nerfing the luchador and stuff, because I think it's that module that's a bit of a problem. But if you got to remember, if they do that, then I think they also need to nerf probably They may need to like nerf Rook if they did that, because you gotta understand like certain. So there's certain builds, like maybe even I don't know about Luchador. Yeah, if they nerf that, certain Titans will be more vulnerable. If they're more vulnerable, they may need a bit of a buff, and some that rely heavily on it, like the Luchador, might actually end up being very weak. So they might even have to buff. It depends on how the balance works. They use cheat. What? Oh, the hackers, they use cheat engines to generate gold, hence the gold changes. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised. The Oxy and the Argon, I don't really think so, but that's mostly because I don't really see it really being used as much as you would think. I think players are still, they're using mostly the Sonic, like the Veyron in the Evora. Most times, like the ones that I run into tend to use that more often. That's why you're not upgrading your Luchador. MB, you know what I would do? Just upgrade what you enjoy playing. I know players, they sometimes get caught up in the, what's getting buffed, what's getting nerfed. I think if you enjoy playing a certain bot, or even if it's old or if it's new, just level it up and enjoy it. You can't control the nerfs and the buffs, and also you can't predict which one it's coming for. So to think about those things constantly, I think it takes away from your experience. Now, you might end up, I'm not saying this won't happen because it probably will at some point. You might level up, like, say, your Indra or whatever, and then they nerf that. The possibility is always there. But at the same time, you could have leveled up, say, the Minos, and they could have nerfed that too. So, like, you're going into it, you're not really knowing, which one they're going to nerf. So it doesn't really matter what you pick. So you might as well just pick one that you enjoy playing and then, go with that. I remember, and the other thing too that I think players have to remember too is, if something of yours gets nerfed down, while you are affected, anyone else who has that, they are affected as well. So it's kind of like if I were to give you, like, say, MK3 equipment on the test server 1 week, and the next week I made it MK1 level 8. Well, what's the difference? There's actually really no difference. I mean, yes, you're going to be seeing higher, like, damage numbers or whatever with the MK3, more health and whatnot. But the experience of playing is the same pretty much. Everyone's on the same, like, field because it affects everyone. So, yeah, and like, see, Ace, you love your Scorpions. I'm not saying not to run it, but I will say that, like, for a player who is struggling and maybe they have too many Scorpions or, like, Sirens or Harpies, I will mention it because maybe that's the reason why they're struggling. They want to know why they're struggling, so I'm telling you that's probably the reason why. But, I can't tell you what to run. I'm just suggesting. They might bring an Indra pilot. I still remember, like, so on my baby account, when I got the Aljung and I was running it with Avengers, right? So the Aljung got nerfed and the Avengers got nerfed. And there were so many players that were laughing and they were saying, Adrian, all your stuff got nerfed. How do you feel? And I said, well, I don't really feel any different because if mine got nerfed, so did everyone else's. And I think that really kind of agitated players. Like, it really annoyed them and they got angry. They got toxic. So what did I do? I actually posted a video afterwards showing that I broke my damage record, even though my stuff was nerfed down. That just made them really angry. And I think that's why I got so much hate. But it just goes to show you, that I'm not really caring about that stuff because it's going to happen in the game. It's just part of the game. So I just adapt and I switch things out and I just keep playing. And that's just how it's always going to be. Some things get to other players more than it gets to me. I don't know how to explain it. You know, like, some will say, like, aren't you like pissed off because they like killed you? I'm like, no, because now I know what killed me, and you know, next time I see them, I'm probably going to use that kind of tactic on them or whatever. You know, I learn from it. I just don't get annoyed as much by those players. I think they're trying to get to me, but you know, because I know that, say, the psychology like behind it, it doesn't really affect me. I'm just not that kind of player. I don't know if they're necessarily how good I am. I think it's more that they want me to experience like the pain and frustration that they experience. I think it's more like kind of that, you know, because they want me to suffer like them, but I'm turning something that was bad into something that's good, and they don't like that part about it. You've maxed both of them. Now you're going to get the ultimate version of those two and play with the invaders and 2 minutes. Yeah, no one's stopping you. I mean, if you enjoy it, all the power to you. I know there's going to be others that will disagree, but who are they to tell you what to run? You know, it's your... If you have fun playing that, then you have fun playing that. I'm sure you're not the only one. You know, there's going to be a lot of players that enjoy playing like those two bots. For me, I may not enjoy, like, I actually enjoy playing the Invader quite a lot because I like the gameplay of it. The Mender, not so much. I mean, there are certain bots that I enjoy the gameplay, like Mercury, which I kind of hope they kind of bring it in like an ultimate version for that. I think that would be really cool. Like, imagine if they brought an ultimate version of like Mercury where when it does its hell dive, if you have like a last stand, or if you go into transcendence or like phase shift, you will still take damage like from it. You know what I mean? Now, it might seem like overpowered, but really it's not, because it's a slow bot, but it actually makes it like the ultimate version of Mercury. You know, it's something different. Hi Vishesh. Yeah, long time. It's been a while. Misery loves company. Yeah, maybe that's why I've been losing viewers. They don't think that way like me. It's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't know, it just doesn't get to me like others like do. And I think because it doesn't get to me, it just angers the players even more. Whereas I'm like just sitting here like having like snacks like chips or whatever, and I'm like, and then I'm just like playing. Where they're like stressing out and everything. I'm like, dude, it's a game. Nightbot is onto call. Why? What did they spam? Playing all sorts of bots and builds is what you enjoy, making all bots work. Yeah, I think for me, it's also trying out different builds, but I kind of also like the strategy part, although the strategy part has been lost a lot. Like, I can tell when I'm playing in my games, I'm getting more frustrated than I usually am, because I'm so used to playing at a certain level where a lot of players, they kind of understand things, you know, at that kind of level, and I'm not seeing it. So for me, that is more frustrating. That is more frustrating than if my stuff was nerfed down, believe it or not. Because I'm like thinking at this level, like, you know, you should know these things. Because it's not like an advanced thing. Like, it's like the basics kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's Yeah. Running a Fenrir. Fenrir's pretty good though. Hi Vio. The hammer and mace is a pretty good build. I still think they did something to those weapons because I find they're doing a lot of damage. I know when I ran it on the Mars, I was like, man, I'm like, I can't recall my Mars doing that much damage, because sometimes I think, like when I'm hitting a play, I'm like, man, is that all the damage coming from me, or is my teammate shooting? But then I realize afterwards I'm the only one shooting the guy. And I'm like, whoa, I don't recall it doing this much. Skill is becoming an obsolete thing. Yeah, but you know what? I have a feeling it's not necessarily because of the game itself. It might just be a generation thing, which I know I might get a lot of hate on that too. But I only say that because like I'm experiencing, you know, I can see it even in like when I play Fortnite. So you know, like how I said, like, so in that game, when you land on the ground, like if you're playing in a random squad, quite often, like if you watch my live streams, quite often when my teammates die, if I'm playing with randoms, they will leave the game. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, so how do these guys actually improve at the game if they're leaving? Like, you know, don't they want to be challenged? Like, don't they want to learn from others that are stronger? But then when I look at War Robots, it's like the same thing. You know, and one game, you know, players consider pay to win, aka the like War Robots, and the other game is completely free. So it's not a matter of, you know, well, because one you pay and the other one you don't. The thing is, it's actually worse in the free game. So I think it's more of a change in culture for like gaming. Like if you look at a lot of the games out there, like, you know, Call of Duty, you know, whatever, like all these other games, you will see like hackers and cheaters. Well, why are they doing that? It's because they're too lazy, I think, to actually learn the game. So they have to ruin it for everyone else. So I think it's more a change in like the culture. Newer generation likes the faster pace. Well, I mean, I like fast pace too. But I think it's more, I think it's a change in the culture too. Like just gaming in general. They don't have, well, that too, patience. Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot has to come down to that actually, but I don't know. Get off my lawn. Always reminds me. Did I tell you the story of someone who did they did a poll on Facebook? This was like many years ago. I think it was like 2000 and it might have been 2016, 15 or 16. I think it was around about then. Someone did a poll on Facebook. They're like, I'm just kind of curious, like, what is the average age for the players who play War Robots? So it was between, like, a lot of the ones who actually replied in the comment section were between 35 and 45 years old, right? And then there were a couple of kids that mentioned, oh, I'm 10, I'm like 12 years old. And, you know, like, I play too. So then one of the elders like kind of joked, and he's like, what are you doing playing my game? And it's so funny. He's like, what are you doing playing my game? Because, you know, like most of the ones that answered were like really old. Well, old relative to like the ones that were 10, 12 years old. So they were like, what are you doing playing our game? I just laughed. It was so funny. Like, it just like, you know, like you expect like mostly youngsters, but most of us that were playing were in the older age group. Yeah, I fall into that category too. Oh my gosh, how slow war robots used to be. The walking war robots. That's why they had to probably change the name, because it was literally walking, but it was like old person style walking. It took so long. I remember I was thinking of doing a video on, I think it was a Fury, right? I think it was like a Fury Thunder. And back then, you know, we didn't have many maps. I think we only had like 3 maps. We had, no wait, did we even have 3 maps? I don't even think we had 3 maps. We had 2 maps. It was Springfield and it was Yamantau. So I drop in on Yamantau and I'm like looking at the center. I'm like thinking, good grief, how long is it going to take me to get my Fury there? I think it took me like, I'm not even joking, I think it was like 4 minutes. It took me 4 minutes to get to the center of Yamantau, only to get destroyed. Because remember, there's no healing, right? We didn't have healing or anything like that. And I'm like trying to get footage. So, I mean, obviously that's like the first game. So you imagine how many games I had to play just to kind of get decent footage. I actually had to help, like I had others help me out to protect me so that I could actually get to center to survive long enough to actually do damage. That's how bad it was. I could have like, it was so slow paced. Known as I Gramps a lot. Yeah, you know what? I prefer faster paced games. Probably why I like the Fortnite stuff. I prefer fast paced, but I also like third person view more, I think, than first person now. You could make a sandwich. Yeah, no, make a sandwich and eat it by the time you get to the fight. And it's so crazy because if you think about it, it took you like 4 minutes to get to center and you would only survive like 20 seconds. So like 20 seconds of footage, but it took you 4 minutes just to get to that position on the map. And the original pilot, and they said that it's crazy. Yeah, I don't know if it's crazy. You know, well, watch the live stream. If you didn't watch a live stream, I ran it and I ran the other one. And to be honest, there's not really that, like, I hardly even notice any difference. In fact, I would actually argue that the one that I used, the Arachnid Invader, survived longer. I mean, the stats are the same. It's no different. The only difference really that you will notice is more in the weapon. You know, like you have more firepower. So that's where you will notice that. But in terms of actual survival, it has the same health and everything. Same thing. The old game was better or just filled with nostalgia. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I don't honestly. If someone asked me to play Walking War Robots from 2014, 2015, you know, I'd kind of be excited at first because I'd like to experience that again. But if I'm being honest, I think after a couple of games, I would actually find that kind of gameplay very painful. Mostly because it's really, really slow. And also, we didn't really have much abilities for the robots or anything. I think the only thing we really had was jump. You know, the jump for the Rogatka. And then eventually for the Griffin. But even that would be boring for me because that's the only thing that we would have. So in some ways, I kind of actually prefer the gameplay that we have now in terms of the variety of like the styles of play. You know, like you would have the shell where you're running around, or you have an invader which is jumping. Like the Ares with the shield. You know, I kind of like that kind of variety. When it's the same and it's really slow pace, it's actually boring. That's why when we have like the skirmishes or whatever, you know, when they have different themes, like retro or whatever, I can only play it for a couple of games and then I have to stop because it's actually very boring. Will there ever be a new map? I think at some point there will be, but I don't think in the near future. Oh, the screen shake. Yeah, I kind of like that. Maybe not as extreme, but maybe they did that because of like lag and stuff. What I do wish was that they toned down some of the effects, and also, like, you know, the HUD, like when you're playing, all the indicators and stuff flashing on the left and right side. I think that's just, it's too much. Like, I want to know what I'm shooting, which is what made the game like fun. Like, I like seeing the effects and stuff, but I want to know what I'm shooting too. They made the Yamantau. I don't know if they made Yamantau smaller. You want to know why? So you can have the same size map, but if the speed of the robots, like if you compare it now to way back, robots right now are a lot faster. You know, you have like Dash, you have like, for example, Scaros that moves. Keep in mind too, you have things like Immune Amplifier that give you more speed. We have Pilots that give you more speed. The Kestrel. You know, we have all the different things that can give you more speed. When you have that speed in the game, naturally the map will feel smaller because you can get from point A to point B faster. If, for example, they took the map that we currently have now and they gave the speed of all the robots the same speed as back when we were in 2014, it probably would seem the same. Simply because everything is moving slower and it will take longer for you to get from point A to point B. So I think that is also the reason why. And there's other reasons too, like you can't run behind the one beacon, like at the back. Before you could do that. I don't think you can do that right now. I think they blocked it off or something. Hi Clash. Power plant gap. You can't see what's happening anymore with all the effects. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the areas. Or like the moon map in the tunnel. When everyone's fighting there, like there's so much stuff going, you can't really see what's going on. Or another map is actually carrier at center. Sometimes can get kind of chaotic. Okay, so anyways, I'm going to be my Q&A thing's always so long. Before I get going, thank you very much to Dark Warrior, Lone, Smiley, Togi, Dominic, Kine, Jack, Goose, and Frederick for helping to moderate today's live stream chat. Much appreciated. If they have YouTube channels, make sure to check them out as well. Also, thank you very much to Thierry, to Zach, and to Kine. So thank you so much, guys, for your donations and your memberships. Much appreciated. If they have YouTube channels, make sure to check them out as well. Done boring us. Not really boring, Kunjal. I'm actually answering questions. For example, you asked me a question. I'm sure you would want the answer to it, no? If that's your version of boring, then maybe I shouldn't do Q&As. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up. It helps the channel out. It also lets me know that you guys are interested in War Robots content. You know, if I start seeing a decline, for example, you know, views going down, obviously subscribers, I'm not getting that many likes, that's a pure indicator to me that, you know, my audience is not interested in War Robots anymore. At that point, I will start scaling back more of my content covering the game, and I will find another game or whatever. So it's very important that you let me know that way. Yeah, just for the sake of the channel. Hey Crypto. Also, for the ones who aren't familiar, I do have a Fortnite channel as well. So I've been streaming, you know, that game on the Zoopy Loop. I'll put a link also in the live stream description as well for the ones who are interested in that game. 2016, 2018. I don't know when my favorite. Maybe the Spectre. Although that was debatable because a lot of players didn't like that 5 Spectre hanger, which I actually ran as well. Okay. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. And I guess with that said, thank you guys for watching. Stay safe, and until the next live stream, I'll catch you guys later. Cheers, guys.